when your agent is finished and waiting for you, you get stressed because like you didn't give them a job. So you want to make sure like every night when you're leaving or for the weekend when you're leaving, you want to keep your agents busy so they're like they keep working. But there is that agent stress, like your agents are waiting for you. So whoever I'm talking to, like they're seeing like, okay, Claude Code is handling everything. Claude Code is getting the job done. Like we are not writing code anymore.
Hi, my name is Demetri Panici, and I'm a content creator, agency owner, and AI enthusiast. You're listening to the AI Agents Podcast, brought to you by Jotform, and featuring our very own CEO and founder, Aytekin. This is the show where artificial intelligence meets innovation, productivity, and the tools shaping the future of work. Enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the AI Agents Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about vibe working. And it's going to be really exciting. How to vibe work and manage your AI agents is something that a lot of people are talking about right now. And vibe working in 2026 is something that we've both been trying to do. And we're just even fiddling with some stuff before the call to try to get you guys to be more in touch with what we're doing. And I'm just excited to kind of show the stuff that we're doing here, Aytekin.
Yeah, it's so. I mean, vibe coding has been like a thing since last year, but then recently, especially with Claude Code's improvements, vibe coding became so good. Like whoever I talk to, like I had friends, they have like their own startups, and they're saying like, okay, we are not writing code anymore. And one of my friends said, like basically he actually has these team of agents, like um and team of AI agents that he's basically constantly running to like write code. And then he's kind of like, constantly like, one of the agents finished the job and then he goes and like guides the agent to do something else. And there's even this new stress called agent stress. I don't know if you heard of that term. It's kind of when your agent is finished and waiting for you, you get stressed because like you didn't give them a job. So you want to make sure like
How
every
it
night
trips me
when
out,
you're
yeah.
leaving or for the weekend when you're leaving, you want to keep your agents busy so they're like they keep working. I don't know if you need them because it's like you can even run agents in parallel now, and we are going to showcase that today. But there is that even like this agent stress, like your agents are waiting for you. So whoever I'm talking to, like they're seeing like, okay, Claude Code is handling everything. Claude Code is getting the job done. Like we are not writing code anymore. And I mean, at Jotform, we are also using Cursor and Claude Code. Uh, I don't know if it like we actually have some people who are just developing stuff like internal tools, especially by just vibe coding. But usually, like when we are developing our product, it's just a helper. It's not like taking over the job yet. But and this has been happening recently, like last couple of months. Something is happening, and there was even this article about like something big is happening. Let me try to find that article to share as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, you saw that, right? It was like a couple of
It's
weeks
called
ago.
Something Big is Happening. It's just literally the person was holding a piece of
Yeah.
paper, right?
So what's happening is that all these tools developed for vibe coding are now like someone actually thought, okay, hey, like this what we built to code, it can actually do other things. It can use the browser, it can use any software like your spreadsheet, your document editor, whatever you need to. So if you are actually doing like office work, it can actually do those things. And then we showcased Co-Work recently. That was amazing. Last week we covered OpenClaw. It constantly changes name, so OpenClaw was the last game, I believe. Yeah, and that's also amazing. Like that's just so fast and crazy, and like just feels so unsecure. Like feels so it's so fast and like just does everything so quickly that you feel like you have to always watch what it's doing because it's kind of scary. Co-work is much slower. Like it's slow. It's very safe, and it's sometimes too slow, too safe on this. But the demo I will do today is it's going to be on cover, because I wanted to showcase like parallel agent teams, like how how agents can be run on parallel, so that you can actually do the job much more quickly and get things done. And you could even like have these like different specialties. You can have different agent specialties. Like if you are building a website, you can have this designer, and then the developer, and then the researcher, and then the competitor researcher, and all these agents can actually work together, communicating with each other. And this is the Cloud's agent teams features. And so it's all really cool stuff that has been happening. So we are going to try to, and the term vibe working, right? It was coined on a LinkedIn post. I think you're going to share that.
Yep.
Can you share it? Yeah.
Yep. The post starts off by saying, and I need this is Power Bites. Today is the February 6th, and I need you to brace yourselves because this was the week AI stopped being a conversation and became an earthquake. $285 billion. That's how much market value vanished from the global software industry in a day. Not because of recession, not because of war, because of a plugin. Anthropic launched a new capabilities for its AI agent Co-Work, tools that can review contracts, specify NDAs, manage compliance workflows, and draft legal documents. Wall Street's reaction was immediate and brutal. Thomson Reuters dropped 18%, which is insane. It's worst day in the company's entire history. Relics, the parent company of LexisNexis, fell 14%. It's worse since 1988. LegalZoom, which I'm sure you're familiar with, is like a company that helps you with, legal documents pretty quickly, plunged nearly 20%. And the head of equity, Thomas Ship, head of equity research at LPL Financial, asked the question out loud: why would I continue paying for software when developing these systems is becoming faster and more efficient with AI? It's a good question. It's not a prediction, it's a eulogy. I'm trying to find that quote that you just said, you mentioned earlier from Scott White. Here it is. So with this article kind of brings more into the conversation what Anthropic's doing, saying how it's taking a different path, partnering with firms like Deloitte and Cognizant, and embedding engineers directly at places like Goldman Sachs, which is crazy. I'm actually kind of shocked that they're doing that. The quote that really stuck out to me that's about this is,
Yeah.
brings us into the phrase of the week. Scott White said, who's the Anthropic head of enterprise product, he told CNBC, I think we are now transitioning into vibe working. You remember vibe coding, where developers could build software by just describing what they needed? Vibe working takes it further. Knowledge workers handing off entire tasks to AI agents using nothing but natural language, financial analysis, legal research, documentation generation, end-to-end. And OpenAI chair Britt Taylor dropped what might be the most important question of the year. The real question is, what software still matters? That's a good question, I think, Aytekin. What software even still matters?
Yeah. So the question is like, what's going to happen to the software, like SaaS businesses? Um, I think it's gonna be really challenging for many SaaS businesses, probably including us, because you can actually do lots of things with this software. So it's kind of also good because it's gonna also, um, push us towards being more valuable for our users. So you cannot just replace it with some prompt. I think that's the part. The good software, um, they don't just do stuff for you. They actually help you, tell you like what's the best way to do something, and guide you. Like it's not just about like building forms, for example, but with just form, like with especially with our new AI stuff, it's more about like really making sure that whatever you are trying to do, like we help you, like we guide you to do the right, like we help you build the right workflows, like the emails, or the all the like the how you use the data, how do you analyze the data, like all these, not just the form, but also all the other additional steps that you follow after you fill out the form. So it's gonna, I mean, if you have a business, like if you have a software business that's just one prompt, like can be copied with a one prompt, I think it's just, that's right. Like it's just very easy to replace. But I think we are still far away from like really building reliable software with a single prompt. I think it
Oh,
takes more than
absolutely.
that.
It takes a
Yeah,
long time.
yeah. I mean, it's just it's not just about like creating a prototype. Most of the time, like when you create an app with AI, it's just yeah, it's a good prototype. But when you try to like advance it, it just gets harder and harder. Because like you have to think about all these other stuff, like compliances, or like security, or integration with other stuff, other software. Like there are lots of things that are not that easy. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting times. I think what's going to happen is more likely is the software business will also change. So the softwares like the SaaS products are going to become less of this like rigid tools, but more like tools that can actually understand what you're trying to do and actually help you accomplish those things. So with the help of AI, they're going to be like, they're going to help you the whole way. They're not just going to give you a tool, but they're just going to, because the SaaS companies are also using AI, adding AI to their products. And I think that's an interesting uh development. And like just we've been doing some cool stuff with Jotform, so we can probably cover that in another episode. Yeah.
And now getting into that thing that you were just referencing, the Something Big is Happening article by Matt Schumer,
Oh
was
yeah.
it Schumer
Yeah,
Capital? He posted this the other week, which got a lot of people thinking. It went really viral on Twitter, and on LinkedIn. It was pretty interesting. Um, I'm actually I'm seeing a lot of these types of posts, and a lot of people, I think the hard thing is that they don't really quite see the value in return, for the business. They think about it individually, it's doing really well. Um, so I think what would be good to kind of mention here is I want to acknowledge kind of how fast things are moving, and this is a pretty good thing that he mentioned. So how fast is the improvements actually going? So in 2022, AI could do basic math reliably. By 2023, it could pass the bar, right? The like legal exam. By 2024, it could write working software and explain graduate level science. And by late 2025, some of the best engineers in the world said they handed over most of their coding work to AI. And on February 5th, new models arrived that made everything before them feel like a different era. I mean, I know you just worked with sub agents for a little bit on your own and parallel agents inside of Claude Co-Work and in Claude Code. I'm doing a lot of the same stuff. So I would be curious to kind of hear and see what it is that you think is, as a business owner and individually, the best thing moving forward for you to kind of do. Because I think I'm noticing that there's a lot of work that I'm trying to offload that can be offloaded, specifically in the last like 6 weeks, specifically Opus 4.5, Opus 4.6. These models are absolutely game changing for me. I hate to use that phrase because AI has ruined that phrase, but it's an absolute game changer because I'm able to open up my computer and just do stuff. And I know you were trying to work on some stuff. I'm going to show real quickly what I think is important to note because, as I mentioned in the previous episode, I bought a Mac Mini for OpenClaw. Now, did that go okay? It went okay. Let me explain why. I'm decently technical. We know this. But I am not an engineer. So I think I'm actually an interesting spot to be in because I can I'm very smart with APIs, I'm very smart with workflows and stuff like that. I'm very comfortable using AI, but I am not. an engineer, so I'm not going to be overly like, never going to give you some sort of reference point that's like out of touch, I think, with the average like go-getter business owner. I don't think. And I noticed that it takes a lot of work to actually get it going in the right direction. Like you do need to know what you're doing with these different things like OpenClaw in order for it to not piss you off and make you spend like hours and hours and hours like in an infinite loop messing around with it. There's the security issues, there's all this type of stuff. But for me, I just want to start the thing by saying, as an individual, this can be really powerful if you spend the time on it. But as a business owner, it can be very frustrating to try to find the returns with the cost where they're at. We were talking about this before. A lot of this is actually pretty heavily subsidized. What does that mean? What plan are you using for Claude Co-Work or Claude?
Oh, just max plan.
Okay, the max $200 plan,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, that plan right now, for those of you that are unaware, if you use it to its fullest extent, is worth $20,000 a month in tokens. Put that into perspective. It's worth $20,000 worth of tokens. I'm gonna mic drop again. It's something that we're not gonna see forever, people. So I want to call this out as an urgent call to like learn how to do this type of stuff and utilize it to set up workflows in the short term, because in the long term, it's going to cost a decent amount of money to do the same things. But what we're going to notice, I think, is that, and I saw this yesterday, I was doing some research on it. The frontier models, right? Claude, OpenAI, they're going to keep getting better. But I don't know if you've noticed as well, local models are also improving very much so. Like open source models are getting better. K 2.5, Quen 3.5, they're all way cheaper to run on the cloud, but they're also getting easier and easier to run locally. It's like a ridiculous thing people are doing that are nerdy. They're buying Mac studios and chaining them together in order to locally host King K 2.5, which is a very smart model. Is it worse than Opus 4.6? Yes. Is it going to be worse than Opus 4.6 is right now in 6 months? No. Right? And that's the thing that we're noticing. So point being, it's going to fall off. There's going to be a point, and I'm sure you know this as a business owner, like, and their investors are going to want to recoup their investment at some point. Like they're going to be like, all right, we've been using this, and you might be asking, why the hell are they subsidizing it so much? One, you and me and everybody else is going to champion this thing because we use it, we like it, we're going to be ingratiated with it, so we'll use it as a business owner with the API costs. But two, they're also using us as training data, right? I'm sure. So point is, I want you guys to learn how to do this now because you can build a lot of great infrastructure. You can build in-house software. You could build in-house workflows and cron jobs and stuff like that. And then when they hike up the price, hopefully you could just shift on to like a local model or something that's cheaper in the future. But for now, we are really being subsidized at like a nerd group here that like pays attention to this stuff. So I'm just using this as a call to action to actually take action with the advantage we have right now. Because in 2 to 3 years, when they say they pull the plug on this, um, people are gonna people are gonna not be able to have the same type of access as they do now, practically to this much value
I
per
think
dollar.
there's also the third reason, and that's the market share. So there's
Oh,
this
yeah.
huge competition. So Claude is gaining so much momentum recently, especially with Claude Code is like becoming like the standard. And so ChatGPT has been growing, especially in consumer, and it's really good. Like 5.2 is great. So and then Gemini is also doing great. So there's this competition between those three products. and I doubt that any one of them will jack up the prices because it's just they want to gain more market share. So I think for a long time we are gonna still have these prices,
Really? How
and
long do you think? I'm curious.
I think as long as like this competition continues between those three, so
Okay.
all of them have their own advantages. ChatGPT has the consumer; they have like 1 billion users. They became like the the name for like
First.
if you
Yeah.
say an AI, say ChatGPT. But when you go to like the best users for AI, like the biggest users for AI, people who are actually writing code, like all the developers in the world, pretty much. They kind of pretty much switched to uh, Claude Code now. So that means they have like the most important segment in the market, even though they are much smaller. Claude, um, and Gemini has this huge like Google user base, like the Gmail and Google Drive, billions of people, pretty much everyone is using them. So they're not doing a great job. Like every time I try to use like this Gmail or the Gemini on Gmail or Google Drive, like I get disappointed. I'm thinking like, okay, Gemini is this good, like, and I go to Gmail and I ask a question. They are still like, if they could just get those two things like Google Drive, Gemini, and the Gmail Gemini, if they could just get them working properly, I think they could just like build a momentum from that as well. But they're not doing a great job on that. So I think this is still like a big fight, and they are all these three, top contenders. They are actually doing a great job. But the winner is not clear. I don't think it's going to be clear for a long time, because just as soon like everybody was thinking ChatGPT was winning, and then Claude was like came out with like the Gemini, not Gemini, Claude Code, and now Claude Co-Work is amazing, and so I think it's a great time for us, because now we can actually use these products and to do lots of great stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. And like, so for example, I just want to show this to you because I'm somebody who has been messing around a lot with it, but there's something as simple as this is able to be made in AI with AI right now. If you know what you're doing with like something like Claude Code and Claude Co-Work. Um, the sound effects, there's lighting, there's all this type of good stuff, right? It's incredible. I want to just call this out because I spent like a day putting together the visuals or some ideas. Well, I
Mhm.
spent a day putting together static images and saying like, oh, this is my new like LinkedIn style. But another day building out the video editing or video creation engine based off that. It would have cost me in tokens, I don't know, like $2,000 to put together all this stuff, but it's instead cost me, a day of the plan each time, which is incredible. So what I have to call out is the fact that there is a distinct opportunity to think of different things like that for yourself individually to do and to try it out because that's something that I literally cannot imagine doing a month ago, a couple weeks ago, a day ago. Like it feels like,
Yeah.
right? And that's the stuff that I don't know what you've been working on with co-work, but for me, it's like the idea of finishing a meeting, having this paid ads proposal put together for a client or something, and then us aligning on what next steps are, and then me telling my Claude Code to analyze the transcript and to do the work.
Mhm.
And all I'm having to do is check on it, add more prompts, work, add more MCPs, right? All these little things to order connect to stuff, it's connect to different tools. And now even you have tools that are controlling your computer. So practically speaking, you have Sonnet 4.6 just dropped, right? It's continuously improving its computer understanding capabilities. So you're going to see more and more throughout this year. Vibe working is going to be possible because it's going to have better computer understanding with every single model, better UI, UX understanding with every single model, better thinking, better Google Sheets creation, better spreadsheet understanding. And for what you just saw, take a wild guess how long it would take to make one motion graphic like that if you're a video editor. I don't know if you do much of it, but it'd take like 3 hours to make something like that.
Yeah.
It made 500 iterations and about 8 hours of me working on it. And I was also doing something else. I was also doing other stuff. That's where we're at right now with vibe working. That's pretty crazy.
Have you tried Free Pick?
Free peak?
Let me share their screen. Yeah, I mean, we just let's see, where is it? Okay. We just announced Platform's like 20-year anniversary. Like we did a lot of stuff like videos, and our team has been using this. Like it's amazing. Like just they were so impressed, and I was like, okay, did you actually use Nano Banana? And they weren't actually. They were using this free pick, and like those motion graphics, things like that, and just doing those kind of motion custom graphics and then adding them to their videos, and the videos look so amazing. So just something to share.
Yeah, no, that is good to share.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I appreciate that. There's a
And
lot of
maybe we
really
should
cool tools like
feature
that.
them because the stuff they've done with this product is amazing. Yeah, maybe we'll cover it in an episode. Yeah.
Absolutely, that'd be cool. I think a lot of the creative stuff that's going on with code right now is actually a little bit underrated. There's a lot of people I think and granted I appreciate it, but there's a lot of people in like the communities of like of media that like seem to want to poo-poo all the AI stuff. And like I watched a clip on Twitter. I'm not sure if I could find it where it showcased if you ever watched Spider-Man?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, they did, like, a whole AI trailer about, like, a future Spider-Man movie where Spider-Man's sad that he let his kid die, and, like, Mary Jane's, like, in a wheelchair, and the music's, like, insanely sad. It shows Tobey Maguire old and with, like, a beard, and he's Spider-Man. Then there's this new kid who's the next Spider-Man, and people are like and the title says, "I'm shocked that anybody thinks this isn't the future of cinema." And then somebody else responds immediately with, like, well, that's because 'cause they'll never make scenes like this. And it's literally a scene, and God bless Tobey Maguire, but, like, you remember the 2000 Spider-Man's movies? They were kinda cringy at some points, and, like,
Yeah.
it's showing the ending of him being, like, sad and walking away from Mary Jane, and he's like, "I" and it's, like, a voiceover in his head, he's like, "Yeah, 'cause I'm Spider-Man," and I'm like, "If you're being honest with yourself, this is cringy. It's just nostalgia. Like, sorry, it's this cringy scene. It's not that well shot, but you're just pretending like this amazing thing you just saw was bad because it wasn't the nostalgic thing you remember. And I love media. I'm in media. I'm in this sort of realm. Sure, being human is very important, but I'm like, that doesn't mean that there can't be opportunity in media too. And I just want to like harp on that there's opportunity in every realm, whether it be motion graphics, whether it be basic office work, whether it be paid ads, whatever it is. There is the ability right now to take your idea using Claude Code, Claude Co-Work, OpenClaw, figure out a way to get it to do it self manually. And I will say there's one thing that I was trying to mention with the pricing is important for the short term. Figure out how to get the most out of these plans and then go from there. Because I don't know if you saw, OpenClaw actually removed access to or sorry, Anthropic removed OpenClaw access yesterday. Did you see that?
I think it happened because OpenAI actually bought OpenClaw.
That's an
Did you have
interesting
you
one.
heard?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Well, I know they bought the guy, right? Like they bought
Yeah,
the guy, which is like it feels like one and the same, right? It's like they bought
yeah.
the
So you have Co-Work and you have OpenClaw, and OpenClaw is like much better Co-Work, like because it's just much better but unsafe, very dangerous Co-Work. And then OpenAI goes and buys it, and then obviously Anthropic is not happy because it's now
their main
their competition
competitor.
actually got it, and then even Sam Altman was like it's weird, like he was like, I don't remember, like he was like, we got OpenClaw or something like that. Like we conquered OpenClaw or something like that. Just it was weird when they bought it. That's not how you report, like, acquisition.
It was a
Um
very weird situation, but yes, you're right. And so there's two reasons for it, to my understanding. One was that, and two was basically there's something happening right now that with the pricing discrepancy, and that's where like a little my alarm bells went off. Where I was like, maybe there's going to be an issue here, right? For the foreseeable future, but that they're gonna like hone down on this pricing discrepancy, but maybe they're just gonna do it from an API standpoint. So you're having people use their OpenClaw and the Claude $200 max plan and getting the $20,000 out of it, right? Scale with all this us nerds. And what you got to see here that's really interesting is Anthropic didn't just remove access to OpenClaw yesterday. They removed access to their
mm,
OAuth token authorization for Claude plans through anything, not only OpenClaw, but even their own agent SDK, which is fascinating to me. But long story short, we'll say that there are abilities that you can do to kind of, I don't want to say work around it, but as an individual, I want to keep highlighting this. As an individual, you can get a lot out of it. Like, for example, right now, OpenClaw, you cannot use Claude Max Plan in order to, through OpenClaw, build it up, right? Now, what is OpenClaw except for an agentic software, sort of? You know what you can do? Since OpenClaw is like a software and has files like anything else, as Next.js like anything else, and all these sort of things, you can, if you know what you're doing, build up your OpenClaw through the Claude Code terminal and get the $20,000 of value. It just takes an extra step of like technical understanding.
mhm. Or you could
So,
just use Co-Work. Uh,
well, yeah, no,
yeah,
yeah, for sure. Or you could just use Cowork too. That's true. So
uh,
if you don't want to be as technical and you don't want to do OpenClaw and you don't want it to work automatically, you could just use Cowork. That's very true.
yeah. I wanted to show like how to parallel, like how to use parallel agents in Co-Work. Let me share that. So um, basically, um, so like research, like this is a prompt that I used to try it, and it worked really well. And it's gonna take a while, so I'm just gonna show you the output. But I want to show the parallel agents and the agent teams. So and what you can do is like you can actually build these agents, and you can actually give these agents different kind of like skills, teach them different skills. Let's say if one of your agent is like a screenshot taker, one of your agents is like a web page builder or something like that. So you can actually build all these different types of agents, and then you can get them to work together. In this example, I'm just showing how to do parallel, use them. And research 10 SaaS products is powered by AI. For each one, launch a parallel agent to research what makes their AI so powerful. and then create a slideshow. So it's very simple prompt, and I'm running with Opus 4.6. And so one of the things it does is it's going to create basically, let's first, because I asked for PowerPoint, it found the PowerPoint skills, and it's going to create like this to-do list, and basically it's doing a research, like finding, like picking like 10 products, and then it's going to just spawn 10 product agents to do like research each product on its own. So this way we save time. And the great thing is, like, you can just say like hundreds product agents, and then it's going to take longer, but you can
Yes,
always,
true.
you can always leave it to work, right? You can just do something else. It's just working for you out there. And as you said, it's so cheap because it's just subsidized. So so basically it's thinking right now. But let me show you the output. So basically it found these 10 products, and these 10 products, and for each one it made a research and created a slideshow like this. Okay, here's the fun part started. So it says running agents, so multitasking. So basically it's fun, all these like 10 different agents. So it picked those 10 different SaaS products, and it's basically doing research on each one, and basically it's using the browser to go to these websites and research them, and then just working on products. And that's the cool part. You can actually see them all. It has multiple steps. Grammarly AI, 3 steps. Grammarly AI writing assistant, tagline description. Grammarly AI technology features, how it works. Grammarly statistics, achievements, user evaluations. So basically it's doing, each one is like deep research running there, and then finally it's going to make it's going to create a presentation. So as soon as all these parallel agents are done, it's going to go ahead and create the presentation. While it's doing the work, I'm going to show you the I just run this prompt before the show, and what it created. Casper AI, AI marketing content at scale. So monthly active users, AI marketing agents, UiPath, enterprise automation with agentic AI, Gong, revenue intelligence, Zanesia, AI agents that resolve tickets, Synthesia, text to video. So basically, it's summarized as well, like just made these. I guess, I mean, so how I use this, usually like when I'm working on a product, I'm like, if we are building like a one type of feature, let's say we are building a copilot for our product, I'm gonna just go here, go to Co-Work, Claude Co-Work, and say, okay, go and like do this research and like find me 100 different copilots, different products that have copilots, and then like for each one, basically just find me a screenshot, take a screenshot, and then create me reports. So this actually, like, if I gave this project to a product manager, that will probably take that product manager like I don't know, a month. But AI can handle it in a couple of hours, and then I get this report, and then I also ask it to like compare them to each other, find the reasons why people love them, like just try to find the reviews about these features, and then just create me a report. And this allows me to like just basically do the research for me. And when we are working on our product, this is really helpful. And it's still working on this, so I'm not gonna wait for it. It might take a while because it's doing this web search. But basically, it's creating this PowerPoint here, and then adding like all these different agents working separately, and then they're adding their pages to this PowerPoint, and it's gonna complete a PowerPoint and just give it to me. And yeah, I think this is really cool. Just this is a very simple example. I'm gonna stop sharing. But basically, if you like, let's say you have a team and you have this cross-functional team, you have a designer and you have a web developer, you have like maybe product manager in this team. Like you could basically just create the team um, in Cloud. You could give each agent their own skills and just train them. Like if you need one of them to take screenshots, just like train them how to do the best job, and then what you can do is like you can give projects to these teams, and you can say things like, okay, do this project in this folder, and when you're finished, so I can let me know, and then you go to sleep, and in the morning you have the product ready or whatever you ask for them. And this is amazing. Just shows us the direction, and it's just gonna the work is gonna be much better because it's cross functional, right? Different types of agents. The contexts are not like mixed up between each other. Like each specific agent has their own skills, knows like what to focus on, and it's not messed up because of the context, or it doesn't go out of like tokens or something, right? Even though like the I think the latest opus is like 1 million tokens or something like that. So you still don't want to have like very large context in your agents. You want to make sure that your agents are like really doing their job well, and to be able to accomplish that, I think it's agent teams are great. And um hopefully we are going to see more and more examples of these agent teams, and I will try to use the agent teams to do another demo in the future as well. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm using let me pull up something I'm doing real
Mhm.
quick to kind of show you as well. I should do an example of the output right now, but I'm trying to get this. Let me just get my screen share doing better. So let me one sec. So let me pull this up. So what I'm having to do is I'm having to, you'll forgive me, it's a little bit janky. This is Jerry. Hi Jared. Uh
Hi, Jay.
yeah, hi Jerry. So Jerry is my OpenClaw. It's a joke because if you translate my name into English, it means Jim, but also Jerry, like a funny way. I feel like I'm saying Jim sometimes. And then um his name is Jerry Baker. Baker is how you translate my last name into English. So I'm just being funny. So we got Jerry Baker. And what he's doing over here is this is his Claude Code. Um, what I have it doing right now, which is pretty cool, is if I pull this up, I want to see what happens if I actually can do this. So, oh no, don't tell me it broke just now. No, it didn't. Okay, cool. So, this is what I've been doing with OpenClaw. It's a mission control that I built to kind of make it look nicer. So this is the big issue with something like OpenClaw is you kind of have no idea as to what the hell it's doing. Like, unless you make a mission control. Like, it's like, okay, so I built all this stuff. What does this even mean, right?
Did you use Claude Code or OpenClaw?
That's a great question. So because of the issues of what's going on with the tokens, right? Ended up using Claude Code
Mm.
to build this out. And it has the ability because all the cron jobs and all that kind of stuff, they're stored on your computer, right? And sure, there's stuff that's sent to the server, but things are stored on your computer for a decent percentage of this. So basically, I put this together. Sorry, my stupid thing's crashing. The sharing your screen thing is crashing. So this is essentially what it is. Maybe I could get Jerry on the call and I could screen share it through my other computer. But long story short, is this guy is a mission control that I made using Claude Co-Work, or Claude Code. So Claude Code has the ability to do a lot of cool stuff, and I can just open my current one right now. So I'm working on some paid ads right now. Um, and if you see right here, I ended up making, I spent a bunch of time doing a bunch of different things in here. Like I'm making and this is the crazy thing. So I'm making a tool right now for a ads dashboard to analyze paid ads that I'm running because Looker Studio is not that good. Looker Studio is Google's tool. And I am setting it up. Do you know what Vercel is? I'm just guessing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just literally I literally built this out and I'm going to have her Vercel host it.
Okay.
Right. And all it's going to be is literally Google Sheet data that's piping in like my YouTube's ad performance, my video ad, or sorry, my Google and LinkedIn ads, my LinkedIn company page and YouTube performance. And it's going to be AI powered. It's going to analyze how the ads are doing. It's going to report to them without me having to do any work. It's going to make budget pacing changes without me having to do anything. And all of this comes from Claude Code. Now, if you guys like Claude Co-Work, which I love, I have to call this out because I didn't realize this because I am not as technically sound as developers. Claude Code and Claude Co-Work are actually really similar things. The only difference is that this, if you want to build stuff, Claude Code can let you do that, but you don't have to be technical. You do not. Like, I'm literally just prompting. That whole video thing that I showed you earlier, that like motion graphic was Claude Code.
Mhm.
And all I did was I said, go on YouTube and find me how to create this type of stuff. And it's like, okay, I will. Give me a sec. And it did. And then from there, it found Remotion and it did the terminal implementation and all of that stuff. Whereas Claude Cowork is limited by things that are outside of the terminal that are outside of coding capability, which is fine. But if there is that next level of thing, you're not going to have to learn how to code. It's going to do it for you. It's going to figure it out for you. So if you're like really enjoying Claude Cowork, play around with it. Play around with Claude Code because that dashboard I just showed you was literally me saying, hey, can you make this visual or what? And it was like, yeah, for sure. What do you want? And I said, do this. And it made the dashboard. So it's not like it's anything more than that for Claude Code inside of the Claude app. Just FYI to people.
So if you added something to your dashboard, can you show us the demo
Like
of
adding to it? Yeah, for sure. So
yeah, like
let me
the
screen share again real quick. So I got this guy. Let me just cancel the
Mhm.
screen share and restart it because it sometimes bugs out. I'm going from computer to computer here, so bear with me. Um let's screen share.
Jerry is so busy; it's doing everything.
Yeah. Shout out Jerry. And he has his own
Do you
little
communicate with it by emails? Like,
Telegram.
yeah,
You
okay,
can do Telegram, WhatsApp, all this type of stuff.
hmm okay. And all those things they were working with OpenClaw. They still work with when you switch to Claude Code.
Yeah, basically what I'm doing is you can through Telegram be like, hey,
Hmm.
do this, right? That's fine. What you should do though is spend the time to build stuff out using Claude Code because it's cheaper. So it's like I'm gonna build out the cron jobs and the plan for the cron job in Claude Code and then say to OpenClaw, okay, now do this on a recurring basis after I've built it the skill.
Hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sharing again. There we go. Take a second, sorry. Yeah, I'm going computer to computer here. All right, so let's take a look at this, for example. Right now, what is it doing? I gave it a huge prompt, or basically, I'm like communicating between the two things, right? So let me share my screen.
I yeah.
So this is how I'll literally do it, like in real life. So if I pull this up, this is my Mac Mini that I own, right, by the way. So I go here, I go to this Telegram, right?
Mhm.
And I say something like, hey, I want you to make it look visually nice here. Here's a screen. Here's a shot I've seen of somebody making an office, which is really cute, of like the agents working, right? So can you have that and give me a bunch of more visual improvements to my dashboard? And then since it understands its own backend, it can give you prompts. It's like, okay, found it. This is the next JS mission control that you're working on. It's gonna understand a little bit more intuitively its own backend than Claude will. Now you can train a skill in Claude Code to be like, understand the backend of OpenClaw. Totally fine. But what I basically am having to do is make me the prompts here, and then the actual coding thing, I literally copied this a minute ago. Went into my Claude Code and gave it all of these prompts. So as Aytekin mentioned, you remember how he said that there was what's called parallel and or uh, agents that are sub agents, right? So what is it working on right now? Let me give you an example. So it says, uh, this is crazy. You can kind of see it's doing all this stuff in the background, which is just wild. So it made it, I asked for it to make a heat map, right? Let me refresh it because it's just coding. So it's going to be weird at times. Of course, every time it goes through a coding cycle, it can get a little bit finicky. So you just have to like refresh it. And also, this is the OpenClaw dashboard that like it comes with, like that lets you kind of understand OpenClaw's, I guess, back end, and you
Mhm.
can chat with it directly here. But I just use Telegram because that's like what was recommended for a lot of people, and was the easiest setup from my perspective to like talk with it on the go. Okay, it's gonna load. It's like, video editor, cut this out. This is ridiculous. The time, sorry, the timing on this is so bad. It was literally working a second ago. So just let's
Yeah.
give it a minute.
That's the thing, like, whenever we try to do a demo, things fails.
Literally
Yeah.
so fucking annoying.
Yeah, it happened me so many times. Just,
Every single time, dude. It's I haven't had an error the entire time. All right, well, to be honest, guys, as anything does happen on this show, demos just break the second that we're doing demos. But the good news is I don't actually have to do much to fix this. I'm literally just going to copy and paste this into my Claude Code, and it's going to fix itself. So that's the good news. Unfortunately, I didn't get to show you the updated dashboard because as we were doing this episode, it broke. But the good news as well, on top of that, is that this is not the only thing I'm working on right now. I got 4 different things brewing that you can work on and kind of showcase to the world. At the moment, I can't, but I think what's really important to note here, that's been mentioned, is the value of vibe coding. The value of vibe coding is so, and vibe working is so high right now. You are able to do so many different things, and as a business owner or as an individual, you got to think about it from this perspective. There are a bunch of different companies you work with or work for, and a lot of different processes that you do on a daily basis. And for me, I'm trying to think of it from this perspective. So if I had to give you one piece of advice to kind of close it out on how does one vibe work? Think about the different things you do in your day. Think about the different ways it can be automated. It could, or well, vibe worked. It can be as simple as analyzing your email. It can be as simple as responding to Slack messages. It can be as simple as putting in to-do list items by typing it in a chat. All of these things are things that are vibe work. I know you as a business owner has a lot of different things. I know I'm a business owner of a lot of different things that go into our daily lives. Making those things easier is what vibe working can really do right now. And think about it in life departments. And then if you go to work, you can think about it in real departments.
I mean, for me, vibe working is about kind of like at night, like when I'm, finishing off working, I like to just think about like what kind of like information would be useful for me, like what kind of research would be useful for me. And then just go to, Co-Work, Cloud Co-Work, or, some other AI agent, and then just ask it to do some work for me. And then like come back the next day and find this useful report. And this is kind of like in the beginning, it doesn't work. But if you when you keep doing it, like like where it fails, and then you start to actually prompt better, and this actually results in like uh basically having all these like custom research, custom reports help you with the work. And so I think it's like uh one of the great things that are happening right now is these agents that can work in parallel, and that's gonna speed up things so much. And it's maybe it's not gonna be anymore like give your agent a task to do last to do it during the night, but maybe it's gonna be like, okay, I need this, here's the outcome I want, and give it to me. And then 5 minutes later you got the job done. And basically it's just there's just like so much potential here, and the momentum is huge. And so really cool stuff happening. Yeah,
Absolutely.
as an article, something big is happening. Yeah.
Yeah, I would check that article out. Check out everything that's going on over there, and check out everything that we're doing. Make sure to go to check out our YouTube channel if you're listening to this, or check out anything audio wise if you're watching this. We're available everywhere. We're available every how. We just appreciate having you. We're doing cool stuff, and we want to share it with you. So, if you like this video and want to see more of it, hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be talking more about this kind of stuff in the future. See you in the next one. Peace.
See you the next time.